Imagine this: your heart stops, your brain is starved of oxygen. Doctors declare you clinically dead. Yet later, you describe conversations that happened while you had no pulse. You describe instruments used during surgery. You describe events that occurred outside your body. This isn't fiction. These are documented near-death experiences studied by scientists, doctors, and neuroscientists for decades. Tonight, we're not here to prove heaven, and we're not here to dismiss these experiences as fantasy. We're here to ask a far more unsettling question. What happens to consciousness when the brain shuts down? A near-death experience, or NDE, is reported when a person comes close to death or is clinically dead and later recalls vivid experiences. Common elements appear again and again. A sense of leaving the body, moving through darkness or a tunnel, encountering an intense light, a feeling of peace and clarity, a life review, and sometimes being told it's not your time. What's remarkable is consistency. These reports come from cardiac arrest survivors, trauma victims, children with no religious background, people from entirely different cultures. The brain may be personal, but the experience is strangely universal. One of the most famous documented NDEs belongs to Pam Reynolds. In 1991, Pam underwent a rare brain surgery to remove a life-threatening aneurysm. To perform it, doctors used a procedure called hypothermic cardiac arrest. Here's what that means. Her heart was stopped, her blood was drained from her brain. Her body temperature was lowered dramatically, her eyes were taped shut. Earplugs emitted loud clicking sounds to test brain activity. By all medical standards, Pam Reynolds was clinically dead, and yet, she later described the sound of a surgical drill, the shape of the tool used on her skull, conversations between doctors, and watching the procedure from above her body. These details were later confirmed by the surgical team. From a scientific perspective, this case is deeply uncomfortable because the brain should not have been capable of producing conscious experience at that moment. Another often discussed case occurred in a hospital cardiac unit. A woman suffered cardiac arrest and was later revived. After regaining consciousness, she described floating outside the hospital building. She pointed out a single tennis shoe resting on a ledge several floors above the ground. A social worker went to check. The shoe was exactly where the patient said it would be. Same position, same wear marks. From the hospital bed, the shoe could not be seen. Skeptics argue coincidence, believers argue perception without the body. Science, once again, sits uncomfortably in the middle. Let's slow down and look at what science does understand. When the brain is deprived of oxygen, it enters survival mode. Neurons fire erratically, the visual cortex shuts down from the edges inward, creating tunnel vision. Endorphins flood the system, removing pain. Dopamine amplifies meaning and emotional intensity. In some studies, gamma brain waves associated with heightened awareness spike just before death. In simple terms, the dying brain may be more active than we once thought. This explains peace, it explains vivid imagery. It explains time distortion, but it does not fully explain verified perception during unconsciousness. Neuroscientists have identified a brain region called the temporoparietal junction. When disrupted, people can feel detached from their body. In lab settings, doctors have artificially triggered out-of-body sensations using electrical stimulation. So yes, the brain can simulate leaving the body. But here's the unresolved problem. Simulation doesn't explain accurate external perception during total unconsciousness. This is where neuroscience pauses. Not because it's mystical, but because the data doesn't fit neatly. Perhaps the most undeniable evidence of NDEs is their long-term impact. Many experiencers report loss of fear of death, increased empathy, profound changes in values, reduced materialism. These changes often last decades. From a scientific standpoint, the experience is encoded as the most emotionally powerful memory of a person's life. So, what are near-death experiences? They are not proof of an afterlife. but they are also not easily dismissed hallucinations. They sit at the boundary between brain and mind, between life and death, between what science can measure and what humans experience. Near-death experiences remind us of something profound. We understand the brain, but we do not yet fully understand consciousness, and until we do, the moment we almost die will remain one of science's greatest mysteries.